What's up, world? It is
Hi.
me, Icky Timey, and Jacqueline Jewel, and we are back. Fully, completely back now. Um, we had some issues with Restream's actually having some problems, as I was telling you, Jax, just before we came back on. So
Yeah,
I'm actually just streaming to Facebook at this time.
right.
Feel free to join us on our Facebook page, and then we'll post it out to YouTube afterwards, if that's all right.
Yep.
Cool,
Sounds
cool,
good.
cool. I'm gonna make some of these adjustments on the fly, and let's go. Okay, back to the top. Let's start over. And what are you drinking? Tell us about your drink, there,
Okay,
my friend.
yes, this is good old H2O. Good old
Yay!
H2O. Cheers. Cleanses the body, makes one whole. Drink half your body weight in ounces with my little Hawaii emblem here.
There's a lot of love for Hawaii. Hawaii's a good place. For all of you watching who are from Hawaii or who love Hawaii, just give us a thumbs up. We
Yeah.
love, 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 love Hawaii.
Uh,
So we are not streaming to YouTube right now, but if you do catch us, I am sitting here having tea with Jacqueline Jewel today, musician, brilliant, brilliant accompanist, and a sojourner in life with the rest of us. Feel free to jump onto YouTube later on and catch the rerun of this and smash the like and of course subscribe because we all would love for you to do that. Jax, okay, so you're drinking some H2O.
yes, some H2O.
Why do you know so much about drinking water?
You know what? I mean, I learned about this at a young age because I'm in a medical household. Everybody in my family are either nurses or clinical lab scientists. You know, you're Filipino, you become nurses. So
Nice.
I also work as a nurse. And
Ah,
yeah, and so living healthy is one of my passions, actually.
very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool. We're going to get into some of that a little bit later, actually.
yeah.
We'll get to talking some of that. But today, we want to primarily look at the fact or look at your life as a musician. When did you fall in love with music? When did this happen?
You know what? I think, well, I started playing at the age of 3.5 years old, and I felt like music kind of chose me, or God gave me that gift at a very young age, and I don't even remember life without it.
Mm.
So, falling in love with it or just knowing that it was a part of me was there from the very beginning.
Wow. Yeah. So as you're watching kind of the posts come up, you may notice a couple pictures here just on the screen so that I put up for others to be able to see you in action.
Yes.
Now you're being held on the lap. I'm guessing that you being held on the lap. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you got to be like a lot more grown than I believe. Who are those two beautiful ladies with you?
Yeah, so that's my mom, and she's a pianist and a nurse. And then that's her mom, who was also a pianist. And her mother was also a pianist organist. So
Oh,
it's four generations of pianist organists in my family. Because I also play the
dang.
organ.
You also play the organ?
Yeah, I do. I use my feet.
Do you have one just hanging around the house just in case? You never know.
We did, but then it took too much room, so it's gone now. It's gone. But growing up, I did have an organ in here
Wow.
with my
Wow.
parents.
So sometimes when our parents have dreams for us, many people will probably relate to this. They kind of put that dream onto us and want us to live out some of their fantasies about life.
Right.
Was your learning to play music, because you said you were playing since about 3.5, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, when were you able to decipher this was something coming from your own heart as opposed to something externally pressed on you?
I think again at a very probably around 5 is when I became more aware of it. I discovered that I didn't even know what the term was, but I discovered I had perfect pitch at that time. Like I would
Wow.
see music in colors. For example, I would see D in
You
blue.
just so happen to have a keyboard sitting next to you because that's what you do when you're
I
Jacqueline
mean,
Jewel. It just
it's just right here.
you reached out into the abyss and and D came out.
Yeah, it's so strange because because I hear D in blue, I hear E in red. But yeah, it kind of just again was a part of me without me even consciously saying this is me. You know,
Wow.
like this is what I choose. No, it chose me.
Wow, That is awesome. And I love how you use the analogy of color with music, or maybe quite literally, because I see most of these are all in one color. For me, it's like earth brown.
Okay.
So, you're like, play a D, and then, two,
Neutral tones.
yeah, neutral tones. They all work. Come on, we'll
They
be all
all
right.
work. Colors of the rainbow.
um, so you knew from an early age that music was something that you were going to be really passionate about. Obviously, the colors just popped out for you. So how long have you been putting out music?
So my own personal music, I started doing this in, I don't know, like 2014.
Mm,
Like my own compositions, whatever. I always shied away from it because I see myself more as an accompanist,
right.
as behind the scenes. But growing up, people would tell me, "Hey, you need to lead out. You're more of a leader, like saying you're in church or worship leading, or a director role." And I kind of shied away from it for a while because I'm more of a laid back personality, and
Mm-hmm.
don't like to be in the spotlight as much, which is funny because this is what I do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
Lucy La Forteza says hi.
Hi.
And if you're watching along, I want to invite you. Go ahead and just drop some comments or questions, and we will ask it to Jacqueline. And Jax is going to go ahead and field them as we go. We're going to be playing some games as well. And I just want you to feel free to just pop on here and drop your comments and your questions as we go. All right?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
So let me ask, because you've done a lot of collaboration stuff. I've seen you with all kinds of people doing some fantastic work. What has been one of your favorite collaboration works that you've done? You probably have several, but is there one that's memorable?
Okay, so yeah, I've worked with a lot of musicians over the years, but I have to say my favorite collabo, and this might be outside of the box, is working with Pastor Henry Wright. And
Mm.
for me, and this was like on the spur of the moment, we were doing something at Central California Camp Meeting, and he asked me to play for his appeal.
Wow.
And I didn't really, and we hadn't worked together, but it was really like the Holy Spirit who came over that place and just, it was powerful. Um,
Wow.
I think they said about like 10,000 people were watching, but I had no idea because I was nervous inside because I was like, man, this is an important moment,
Yeah.
time. I
Don't
was like,
mess it up.
I know, no
Don't
pressure
do it.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but I would have to say that was my favorite moment musically
Wow.
and with ministry as well.
Wow. Wow. That's huge. Dang.
Yeah.
So did you
Yeah.
mess it up?
No, it's funny though. He prayed after I sang and played. He prayed. He's like, Lord, I'm just so glad she chose that song. That was perfect. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh man, no, but I was like, man, if you go down, this is gonna be for all the world to see.
Yeah, like everybody's watching.
I
No
know,
pressure, but
not today, Satan.
not today. uh, Kevin asks, have you collaborated with your entire family on a project? Ooh, great
Oh,
question,
no,
Kevin.
yeah, good question. Yes, I have. I've actually recorded them. It's not out yet, but my family, so we're all musical. Some people have referred to us as like the brown version of The Sound of Music, the alternate B-side, the Filipino version. So yes, Kevin, in answer to your question.
Nice, nice. And what's been like one of the weirdest venues you've ever had to perform at? Like, is there one that stands out where you're like, this was
Yes. Oh
interesting?
my goodness, Icky. So I was in the Philippines for an event, right?
Ah, yes, the
And
Philippines.
yes, for my Pinoy people, my Filipino kababayan. So I was there and I had, sorry, I'm already cracking up. I
I
had
want to
no
laugh with you.
idea. I had no idea that the crowd was all deaf. And
Okay.
like the initial, and I have deaf cousins too, right? So like I know how to speak sign language and all this, but I had no idea. So I'm like, wait, I'm a musician and I'm playing music and there's no translator. Like what? I didn't know
Wow.
what to feel. Like
Yeah.
what do I do?
No,
Yeah.
you are experiencing what most pastors we have experienced when we had to move from live congregation to digital preaching. we're,
Hey,
we're-
that's a good comparison.
we're like preaching and we're like, is anyone saying amen out there? Because we don't know. We have no
Like,
idea.
it's true. Can you get a witness? Like, for real?
Yeah, right. So the people who invited you to do this, they knew, but did they not tell you or?
No, they did not tell me. So I was kind of in the dark. But, halfway through, a translator came in, and it actually turned out to be a powerful experience because once they knew what I was saying, then they were praising like this, giving the signs
Oh
and
yeah.
resonating with me. So I'm singing, and they can't hear me, but they hear my heart through the translation. You know what
Ooh.
I mean? So I was like, this is such a surreal experience.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hey Donovan, welcome on, man. Thanks for joining us. We are not shooting to YouTube right now, so if you're just catching up with us, feel free to share that with people to come on straight to our Facebook page. And this is where we're going to be talking with the great and mighty Jacqueline Jewel, talking about music and life and struggles and overcoming. Oh, it's
Mm.
Sean. Hey Sean, good to see you on, buddy.
Hey, Sean.
Let me ask you this question. What's the most difficult thing about creating an album? How many albums do you have out right now, by the way?
So personal, like my own
Just your
is
own, yeah.
three, and
Three.
yeah, three, and I'm working on my fourth one at the moment, and it's called Wounded Healer.
Ooh.
But I think the hard part about it is like it's so personal,
Yeah.
and you're putting it out there for the world to listen to. You're inviting people into that sacred space of your heart
Mm.
and mind, and just like, okay, this is who I am, but I want to give a message of hope and hope you guys are blessed by it. But I think that's probably it's
Wow.
fun. As musicians, we want to share and hide at the same time, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it painful to hear critiques about it once it comes out?
At first it was,
Yeah.
but the older I get, the more I welcome it because I
Mm.
feel like constructive criticism is essential for growth
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and, and, and learning. I think we could always learn. We shouldn't ever stop learning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I welcome it. Sometimes it hurts, but then I'm like, at the end of the day, it's your personal preference,
That's true. That's true. That's
right?
true. People could be mean out there, man. They be saying things. You're like,
I know. Like, who does she think she
yeah.
is?
How dare she can't hear nothing? She told that. How dare she? Like, I don't have that problem. Nobody follows me, so I don't get the hate. You know what I mean? Like my kids, they hit the like button and we all good.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
three albums, your three albums that are out right now, are they? Do they differ? Do they vary in sound and style?
yes, they do. So my first album is all piano,
Nice.
and those were all hymns, and actually just what I was creating in the moment.
Wow.
The second one is a scripture album. My friends issued a challenge to memorize two pieces of scripture every day, and then an album came out of it, and that was live acoustic, just with ukulele, guitar.
Yeah.
And then the third one is like more fully produced album. Like it just chronicles my story and my journey in life and all that jazz. So
Oh man. Yo, to be able to express and tell your story through music must be a powerful, powerful thing. Kevin asks, how do you balance nursing and music? Both take a lot of time.
they do. And to be honest, that's a great question. I'm thinking, man, I feel like at this moment in time, I might have to give one of them up
Ooh,
I know it's weird, but I mean, I'm not, but to fully dive into a craft that I'm passionate about.
yeah, true.
Um, but at the moment, I'm working it out. I also teach online, so
Okay.
I teach music. I work as a hospice nurse, and I'm working on my album. So
Wow.
hats.
Yeah. You said your next album that's coming, that's gonna be dropping soon, is Wounded Healer. We're gonna get to that title, so I want to just talk a little bit about that here real soon. But before we do, let's play a game, shall we? Are you ready to play a game with me?
Hey, okay, let's play a game.
All right, let's
It's
play a game.
on.
So this game is called Love One, Leave One. We've been playing this with everyone who's been coming on for the past few weeks. And basically what I do is I create a list of random things in no particular order, and I just let you choose one. If you
Okay.
choose, whatever you choose will then be a part of your life permanently. at a regular amount, and whatever you don't choose will disappear from existence forever. Like no one can use it. Okay. I
Hey.
want to invite all of you who are with us today. By the way, if you don't know this, I'm with Jacqueline Jewel, and we're talking about music life, struggles, and overcoming. So, if you will, play along with us, everybody. Just go ahead and drop your answers into the comments. Put your hands on the keys right now. Get ready, because we give only a minute and a half. So, Jax, you only get a minute and a half to do this.
Okay.
Okay? So you've got to
Go
be
practice.
nimble and
Patient.
quick. Yeah.
So, okay, wait, so love it or lose it.
Just love it or lose it. Now you can say love this, lose that, or you can say get rid of this, or you can say keep this, so that you're indicating to us exactly which one you love or which one you don't love.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh.
All right. Be still, my heart. Be still, my heart. Here we go. I've got a minute and a half on the clock. Ready?
All right.
Okay. Sandals or Nike shoes?
Love it. Sandals.
Ooh, nice. Shorts or skirt?
Love it. Shorts.
All right. Jason Momoa or Chris Hemsworth?
Jason Momoa. Love it.
All right. Outdoor activity or lazing around at home?
Oh man. Outdoor activity. Love it.
Okay. Noodles or white rice?
Oh, noodles, bro. Love
wow. Okay. I'm gonna question your Filipino-ness. No, but Thai food or Chinese food?
Thai food.
Oh, very good. Disneyland or New Zealand?
New Zealand.
Okay. New Zealand or Hawaii?
Oh, Hawaii, bro, all the way.
Oh, nice. Okay. Ube or chocolate, according to Kevin?
Oh, dang. Both. Okay, fine.
got it.
Ube. If I had it. Oh, no. Both. Oh, I can't.
All right.
Ube. Okay.
90s R&B or 60s Motown?
Oh, dang. 90s R&B.
Ooh, okay. TLC or SWV?
TLC.
Magic or Kobe?
Oh, my goodness. This icky. Oh, that hurts my soul.
I know.
Oh, man. Kobe number 8.
Mulan or Jasmine?
Mulan.
Oh, we just ran out of time. That was good. You did pretty good. You didn't get through all of them, but you did pretty good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. It was the ube. The ube held me up, man.
The ube. You know what? Judy said ube as well. She went for ube. You said ube? I didn't remember which one.
I did say ube.
You were thinking of Judy's cookies, by the way. Thanks, Judy, for checking in. Judy Ibarro.
These are the bomb.
Yes, we're expecting a load of cookies from you now, because you've been part of this game.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks.
Donovan says Kobe Bryant. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. Okay. You did good. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
For a while though, I was like, oh wait, 32. 32.
So, Jax, because you're an accompanist, you're a musician, do you happen to have a song that you really like that you'd love to play for us? Since you happen to have a keyboard right there in the abyss.
I really love What a Beautiful Name right now. Just,
Oof.
the praise song.
Yeah, give us a piece of that, girl.
You should sing, Icky.
No. You like that earth brown, huh? On everything.
Neutral. I think I just love the words. I love the melody. Anyway, so that's.
If you're coming on with us, that's Jacqueline Jewel on the keys, accompanist, musician, and lover of life. Man, that was beautiful. So I want to urge you all out there to go ahead and go pick up this one of her albums, or pick all 3 of them up. She's pretty darn awesome with that kind of stuff, man. I've really, I'll be honest, Jack. I've been listening to you since I was a little child. Since I was, a toddler or something. I've
Yes,
always
yes.
had a deep appreciation for your music, actually, for quite some number of years. So thank you for constantly putting out positive, good, meaningful, creative things into this world, which is really what we're about here at Tuesday Tea Time. I just want to encourage human beings to put out positive, good things into this world. We need more of that, don't we?
We do, especially at this time in Earth's history. We
Mm.
need good vibes, positivity, love, and light to go viral.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We need more of that. So, how have you been keeping your sanity through through these days? These days have been pretty trying days, actually.
They have been, like with everything that's happening in the world and
Yeah,
standing up for what we know to be right and all these issues that have been coming up with, well, everyone's been watching the news, so they
yeah,
know. I think it's important to get rest,
yeah.
for one, be connected to a higher source of power,
Mm,
and to surround yourself with good, positive people, and to take actually breaks
yeah.
from media. I think that's important.
That is three beautiful hacks. That is absolutely true. Have you been able to do anything or express or use your gifts to speak into some of this friction and brokenness that we're all struggling through, whether it was COVID or the racial tension that's happening around us in our world? What have you found you've been able to do to tangibly speak into that?
Yeah, so with that, I feel like music plays a big role in addressing current issues in life.
Yeah.
As recent as, well, my aunt passed away yesterday,
Mm.
so like things have
Wow.
hit home for us with, what's going on in the world and also personally and at work. I deal with death every day because I'm a
Wow.
hospice nurse,
Yeah.
almost every day, I should say. But I find myself, whether it be conversations with people over issues or working with patients, it always comes back to God and music.
Mm.
Even one of my patients, funny again, she couldn't hear, right?
Yeah.
She couldn't hear. I bring my ukulele in, and this is a woman that's close to dying, and I start playing with her, playing for her, and she was reading my lips,
Yeah.
and she had said to me, even though she can't hear, she said, "Am I gonna die soon?"
Oh
Right? And
wow.
I'm imparting
Ooh.
love through, like, you are my sunshine, something that everybody knows, and just thinking, God, speak through this moment, whether it be with a patient, whether it be on social media, in a protest, or whatever it may be, whatever your sphere of influence is. I think it's important to use the natural gifts that God has given you.
Mm, truth, truth. Thank you for sharing that. So I want to talk a little bit about your album, and then I've got a guest from the past that I want to bring
Oh,
on, and
oh.
we're gonna play a little game with them and see if you know who it is. Okay, but let's quickly pivot towards your album. So this new album you're dropping is called Wounded Healer. I know this comes from a personal place. Could you share with us why you decided to name this album that, and take us through your life struggles?
Yeah, for sure. Well, Wounded Healer was a title I thought about because I thought about Jesus and how he was wounded for us. And he was perfect. He was
Yeah,
perfect, but us, as we're faulty human beings stained with with, I don't, the scars of life.
yeah,
For me, just a little tidbit of my story. At a young age, my innocence was stolen from me.
mm,
I didn't know how to deal with stuff like that.
mm.
I went through bouts of depression and wanting to end my own life,
Oh,
even
girl,
though
speak
it didn't appear on the outside
on
that
the
I was
outside.
struggling. Yeah, because I'm a smiley person.
Yeah,
I come from a very loving family. They didn't know what was happening,
yeah,
but inside it was a different story. So, having these traumatic hits in life, and actually also going through divorce, and
mm,
what do you do when things happen in life and you don't choose it?
yeah.
Like, how are you going to respond to negativity? How are you going to respond when life throws things at you that you're not prepared for?
Wow.
So in answer to your question, that album title came to mind, and it's been very healing and therapeutic for me to actually chronicle and write about um, my journey.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow, Jackie, I really want to thank you for that. I really want to just If we could speak to that for a moment, for those of you out there who are part of a faith community, to be aware of individuals around you and the hurt and the pain that many go through. And for those of you who've been abused or who've been hurt or who've been robbed from, I want you to know that you're not alone, to not be ashamed of your experience or situation, that this was a robbing. It's not something that you have to ever feel like no one will understand. We are here for you. We've got
Yeah.
too many young ladies who have had to experience that, who struggled through it, and because they feel so ashamed, or maybe they feel like they were at fault somehow, they've tried to just cloak their pain and their problems and just wear a smiley face. But the faith community is not about just you bringing a smiley face. It's about being transparent and loving and supportive through all of that.
Yes, and Ike, I appreciate. Well, thank you for the invite for one. I'm honored to be on here, but just you use the right word, transparency. It's oftentimes I find that in our faith community, even though there's a lot of positivity, sometimes we tend to hide our pain
Mm.
and, and put on an act, for lack of a better phrase. But not everything is perfect, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay. And there are resources and there are people who want to help you.
Yeah. No shame in that. Don't
No.
take any shame in it. Don't be guilted by the enemy to keep hiding out. If you're struggling with, even if you're struggling with anxiety or depression or suicidal thoughts, there's no shame in those things. In the faith community, shame on us if we've been shaming you about that. You need to come out and make sure that people know, because people want to support you. Don't ever feel like you're struggling through this alone. I don't know who's watching along or if you're catching this later on in a recording, but I want you to know, if you're struggling with this, it's okay. It's all right. Beautifully entitled Wounded Healer by the amazing Jacqueline Jewel. Thank you, Jax, for that. So you're going to want to pick that up. When's that dropping?
Hopefully by fall. That's the
Awesome.
goal. That's the goal. COVID has just brought a different element to the timeline.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's the goal.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so I'm going to call a friend right now. I'm going to
Oh,
invite you to put on your blindfold that I asked you to grab earlier, and
yeah.
we're going to bring on somebody from your past. Let's
Oh,
see if
snap. Okay, so
you
I'm gonna
remember
use
these people.
this lava. I'm just gonna do this,
I
yeah?
like how you represent the Polynesian culture. You
Hey,
you
you know
win for
what?
that. You win for that.
I'll just do this. Can I hold it like this or should I
You
tie
can
it?
totally hold it like that.
Okay, I don't see
Yep.
nothing, so
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna bring on a friend,
okay.
and let's see if you know this person.
Okay.
One second. Polynesian culture. All right. Okay, friend. I've got the friend on right now, and I'm gonna have the friend drop some hints to see if you know who this person is. Go ahead, friend.
All right, all right. Could disguise my voice a little bit.
That's not a
We
disguise at
went
all.
to college together. Mm, we went to college together.
We
That-
went to college together.
That's right. That's right.
That's the worst disguise ever. I just want you to know.
Why is there an accent of I'm not familiar with the accent. Okay. But can
Well,
I ask a question?
I'm going to add an accent. Here we go. Um, we were a struggling boy band, 98 Degrees Wannabe. Made us sound great. You made us sound good.
Is this Roy?
Oh,
Yeah, it's Roy Tabingo, the worst, the worst voice disguiser in the world. He tried to disguise his voice, and it sounded more like him than it did before.
That's so good. When you said struggling boy band.
yeah.
Oh, Roy, it's so good to see you. What's happening? Goodness. I haven't seen you since Guam.
I know. I was so happy to see you then.
It's
From-
been 2 years.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
I just went to Guam and you were randomly there. I was like,
I
who's the beautiful singer that's singing? and playing the piano. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that was so cool. And Iggy, I had Roy sing with me and play with me too for one of the nights over there in Guam.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
noticed how you
Remember?
didn't mention his name being a good collab. Just putting that out there.
I'm not worthy. I am not worthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're catching on with us, we're with Jacqueline Jewel, brilliant musician and accompanist, talking about life struggles and more. And we've just been joined on by Roy Tabingo,
Yes.
somebody nobody knows. I just want to put that out there.
Hey,
I know you, Roy. I love
I
you.
have a perfect pitch too. You want to see? I get a picture. No, that's not funny. I'll stop.
You're going to get those kind of jokes for the rest of the time we're together. Okay, so I'm going to play a game with you guys, and I'd like for everybody to join along with us. If you're watching with us, we are going to play a little game that I just made up literally before we started today. The game is called, it's the song game. That's what I entitled it the song game because I didn't have a better term for it. What we're going to do is I'm going to invite each of you to take a turn. We're only going to do a couple turns. And you're going to hum a particular song from the 90s because I like the 90s. And the other person has got to guess what the song is. If you guess it, you get a point. If you miss it, you lose a point. All right?
Okay.
Okay,
Can I use my keyboard?
You can use your keyboard. Yeah, absolutely. Roy, you can just hum. And so I've got a number in my head between 1 and 7. And then whoever gets it right can choose whether they hum first or they listen first. All right? The number is, okay, Jacqueline, do the
4.
honors. 4. Tabingo.
7.
Roy knows me too well. It is the number 7 exactly. We've had a strong bromance for many years, Jack. So. Roy, would you like to listen and guess first or hum first?
Because you didn't give me the 90s theme. I picked a couple songs that's not in the 90s. But okay, go ahead while I think about a song. Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to play it just the beginning.
Just the beginning,
Yeah.
Roy.
Oh, the beginning.
Okay?
Oh, man.
I'll give you a little bit more. Ready?
Oh.
Wow, you're about to lose, Roy Tabingo.
I told Vicky this is not my game. I suck at this
Yeah,
game.
but you can't play basketball. We can't do that virtually. It's too
Oh,
hard.
man.
Maybe we'll play horse next time. A
Play it
game
again,
of
play it
ride a
again,
horse.
play it again.
Pig.
Pig.
Horse?
Yes.
Ready for the next part?
Oh, Voice to Man. Voice to Man.
You have to sing it, Roy.
Oh, no.
You have to sing a piece.
I forgot it goes. It's been so long.
Don't lie.
Do
You've
the
been singing
harmony. I'll
it.
do the harmony. You started, Vicky.
I have no idea what the song is.
It's.
I thought it was Cheers. Everybody knows your name.
Oh, no, that's this.
That is too.
Yeah. That's what that is.
Oh my gosh. So talented. So talented.
Okay, Roy, give us the one that's in your head right now. Go.
Oh man. Oh. 80s. Okay.
80s.
80.
I mean, set 90s, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was our show. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Okay, I'm gonna hum it.
Okay,
You
hum.
know it. It's so easy. It's really easy. Yeah. Okay. No? Ah, I got you.
You got all of us.
I was like,
Can you hear it?
Do it again.
I think that's the 90s.
I don't think
You
that's a
tried it,
song at
right?
all, to be honest.
is that? Vicky, you got any?
You found out. You got a crush on me. That one? No.
Is that the chorus?
That's the chorus, not the beginning. I don't know the beginning.
If you're watching along and you know the song, we invite you. Drop that into the comment and help all of us, please. This is Roy has stumped. Roy, tell us what the song is.
Step by step.
Oh,
Oh, man. That was so hard.
This
Okay.
game is not good. I'm not going to.
thank you to Bingo for that. Thank you. Jack, give us one more. Give us one more.
Okay. So just the
Casey and JoJo. Yeah, I know that.
Oh, that's good.
Go ahead, take it away, Roy.
That's about it. That's about it.
When he started, I thought it was down the Via Dolorosa.
Oh, it is, huh? Wow, they stole it from them.
I'm saying.
Goodness.
See?
But it's the same thing.
I want to pick a Christian song.
Okay.
Is it
okay.
everybody's got an instrument?
Oh, that's nice.
You know it, Icky?
I got it. Everyone's got an instrument. I got to bring mine on.
You know the song?
Is it Falling in Love with Jesus? Oh, that's pretty. If you're catching us, we're on with Jacqueline Jewel, spending some time talking about life and music, struggles and overcoming. And we've been joined by Roy Tabingo, and we're just kind of having a smooth little sesh right now. Judy, I got my instruments right here.
You do?
You know that song?
Melanie just told me this is not even how we play the spoons, so I just ruined it. I'm so sorry, everyone.
We just give up on the game?
It's Falling in Love with Jesus?
It's Falling in Love with Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sing it, Roy. Sing a little bit for us. Go.
Take it away, Roy.
Go.
You sing it. No, I'll play. Sing it, Icky.
No. Because it works better when one person who's playing the instrument sings with it.
Yeah.
You should do it so that because there's a lag, and then Jack, I think you should jump in, and finish that part of the song. What do you think about that?
Oh, okay, let's try.
Go. Okay, Roy, you start first on your guitar, and then Jax will jump in on the back half of that verse.
I just know the guitar part.
You're useless.
Okay, I can play something similar. No, it's What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
Go.
What a friend we have in. Whoops.
There you go. Nice chord.
See, you put me on the spot here.
Too much pressure.
Jack's practice.
It's Jack's turn. Go, Jax. Finish that out for us.
Let Jackie do the job. She's gonna do it.
And then you could go back into your song. Yeah.
Falling in love with Jesus.
Sing it.
Falling in love with Jesus. It's the best thing I'd ever. Roy, finish that. Finish that. Roy Tabingo's gone deaf. Oh, that was fun, guys.
Beautiful. That was beautiful.
That was really cool. I have to say, I have been blessed for the majority of my life to be around such wonderfully gifted human beings, and who's also kind of just given their time to entrust their gifts back to God and like sharing that. So thank you both to Jackie, thank you so much, and Roy Tabingo, thank you so
Loved
much.
it.
Before we close out today, we're gonna just ask a couple more questions. We got about 5 minutes. By the way, if you're watching along, we are with Jacqueline Jewel, and please follow her on her Instagram page. If you have any questions, please drop the questions in or comments. We'll throw it up, and I'll ask Jacqueline here in our last 5 minutes as we close out our session of tea time today. Tabingo, did you bring something to drink? Did you bring a little Tuesday
Yes.
tea of some
My
sort?
kids are. I know. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to balance my life with my kids right now. My wife's at work. I let them watch TV.
Hey, Jax, and Roy, feel free to also answer this as well. But I want to start with you, Jax. Jax, what does someone who has passion for music, what do they need to do to get started? Maybe they're coming into their own right now. This is a young adult out there who's really beginning to find their voice, their rhythm. They're in stride now with music. What should they be doing to get moving down the lane to start their own album and collaborate and connect with others?
I think it's important to be authentically you. I think people see through the fakeness, or if you try to be something you're not. And I think that's important to follow. Be open to, as we talked about earlier, constructive criticism to allow you to grow as an artist. But yeah, just being who you are, who God created you to be, is a beautiful thing.
Very good. Tabingo, you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, just really being honest with who you are, and really putting the right people around you.
Yes.
Jackie is an inspiring person that, when she was going through the tough times in Guam, I didn't know what she was going through. And when she talked to me, because we went through similar things with our relationships, and it's just a whole level of hurt that no one will understand unless they go through it.
Right.
But I was inspired by how strong she was, how she was still serving God, how she's still passionate through all this storm. And if you put those type of people who are strong, who are encouraging, and more importantly, just trusting God and staying connected with God, you'll find your passion. You'll find the encouragement to do the best you can in being a musician, being in whatever you want to do. So I was inspired by when I heard what you're going through and still serving God, and definitely putting the right people around you will help you reach your goals, whether it's music or anything else.
Jax, speaking of that time in Guam when you guys talked, Roy was alluding to the fact that you had been struggling through a lot, and that there was a lot on you emotionally that you had to process through. What is one thing that you did that really helped you move through that process? So maybe somebody's struggling through some of that stuff themselves, right? And they're like, like how do I deal with this? Could you share maybe one thing that you did that was just personally right on point?
Again, taking it one day at a time, but doing what God has called you to do, and using it as a vessel, as a beacon of light to others. I think when you, like the Bible talks about, when you are refreshing others, you yourself will be refreshed. So, I thank you, Roy, for being, because God knew exactly what I needed at that time, and He was using you, and God used me at that time to help me even through my own pain. To find that and it's still an ongoing process. And just to know that it's a journey. None of us have arrived.
Yeah.
And to be patient with yourself and others.
Wow, too good, too good. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today for tea time. And thank you for making it a ball of joy and fun and laughter, Roy. Jacqueline, thank you for your effervescence. Really appreciated our time together. We only, because of the issue with Restream, for those of you who joined us, I know we've only been on 44 minutes. I'm probably going to stretch another just 5 minutes to kind of balance our 1 hour out. But Jax, could you speak to young people today who might be dealing with discouragement and displacement because of everything going on? What would you share with a younger you if you were going through this time right now?
Um, okay, well, I know for me personally, I get stressed out when things aren't balanced. So, for example, if I'm not getting enough rest, or if I'm not getting enough sunlight or exercise, a lot of that is chemical, right? I mean, our moods and what we put in our minds and our bodies. So even just going 15 minutes outside, getting some good old vitamin D to help our brain, to help just our overall emotional health and well-being. That little things like that helps, especially
Absolutely.
in this time. And then again, what Roy was saying, surrounding yourself with good, positive people, taking the time to breathe,
Yeah.
just just like, okay, I need to take a moment and bask in that moment. You don't have to rush out and do whatever. Take your time with things.
Absolutely. Let's take a moment right now to breathe. Everybody, let's just, oh, man.
You know what? That's actually what I tell my students to do, no matter what age. I have a 5-year-old, I have someone in their 50s, and we do deep breathing exercises before our lessons.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Your album's dropping out in the fall, hopefully, maybe a little bit after that due to this COVID situation. For those of you who are just signing on right now, we are hanging out with Jacqueline Jewel. Follow her at Jacqueline.Jewel over at Instagram. We are hanging out with the great and mighty Roy Tabingo. For those of you who don't
What?
know, Roy and I are like, man, we go way back, man. He's been a partner in life and ministry. We've traveled the world together. I've been just blessed to like hang out with them, and he's got some mad basketball skills. I taught him everything he knows. Yeah, he does. We went to the Philippines once, me and Roy, and we went to a basketball court, and all the Filipinos saw me and they were like, we want that guy. And about like 2 possessions later, they had realized they'd made the wrong choice because Roy Tabingo is like the Filipino Michael Jordan. So they were all very sad.
National. Oh,
That's not true. Icky held his own. He's an amazing.
I literally held my own. Like I put my arms around me and cried like a little baby. Oh man.
we should all have like a 3-on-3 tournament. Hey, when everything is said and done, that would be fun.
Let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
do it.
Let's
Let's
go.
Too old for that. I'm too old. My knees will not appreciate that.
different age categories.
Right.
Yeah, put me in the 45 and over.
Oh, by the way, I just saw my name on here. So Jacqueline is with a C, Jacquue,
Yes.
but it's all good. You'll find it there. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that correctly. JACU, right?
Jacqueline.
Come on,
It's
people. Listen, Jax. I'm a pastor, okay? I'm sorry. And I'm an immigrant, so I had 2 things fighting against me my whole life. I
it's all
apologize.
good. We still accept you, Icky.
Yeah,
We still
thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, thank you everyone for joining us today. We've spent our hour hanging out with Jacqueline Jewel, the musician, the accompanist, the nurse, the daughter, and the sojourner through life. I just wanted to remind each of you, if you're struggling with anxiety, if you have a problem with depression, if you've had suicidal thoughts, if you've been taken advantage of, if you've been a victim of something, you have no reason to be ashamed. Your story is valuable and your life is even more valuable. And this faith community wants to support you and love you through it. So don't give up. Don't turn inwards and don't not share. There are people here who really want to reach out and support you and push you through. If you are part of a faith community, we ask that you would be more bold and courageous to continue being transparent, to share your story, to bless others, to support people. I know sometimes when they come out to you or they say something, we usually have a knee jerk type reaction. We don't know what to do. Don't do anything. Just listen and be a good friend. Just care for people and live with empathy. Jacqueline, thank you so much for challenging us to live in such a way. I pray for your ministry. I pray for your music. I pray for your life, that God continues to use you in mighty ways to change those around you. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you.
Jackie, it's great seeing you.
You too,
Keep
Roy.
doing what you're doing. I follow your music. I love what you're doing. God is definitely using you, and you've definitely turned a lot of your life, just turned what was hard and you made it very beautiful.
You were a big part of that. And to everyone out there, Icky, Roy, everyone who's listening, there's always hope. Your story doesn't end here. So
Awesome.
that's all I got.
Praise God.
Can everybody find your album? Where can we find your music, Jax?
Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, CD Baby, all social media platforms. So.
And all you need to go is to JACQUELINE.JEWEL, and they'll be able to find your
That's
stuff.
my real name. That's my real name. My parents named me that Jacqueline Jewel from Las Vegas.
Thanks, everyone, for spending your Tuesday afternoon with us. We know you could be doing a million other things, but really appreciate it hanging out with you. Next Tuesday, we're going to be talking with chaplain from Loma Linda University, Casey Hohensee, and quite possibly the chaplain from La Sierra University, Kevin Strain. We're going to talk about life, ministry, what young people are dealing with in colleges and universities right now, and how to keep living a creative and meaningful life. To the rest of you, God bless you. Roy Tabingo, I love you. I love you. I love you. Jacqueline, thank you so much for being amazing.
Love you guys. I love you guys a lot.
We'll catch you next week.
All right.
All right.
Sister.